You need to see life like a video game. Here's the thing. Everything in life, all it is just basically XP. And then it's pretty much a mix between XP, gaining XP, understanding new skills, new levels. That's what makes life a video game. Because everything you do in life has XP, has levels, there's levels to this game. That's why I'm telling you life is like a video game. Because even if you think about it, back in the day when you're playing like Skyrim or you're playing Fallout, you have those skills, you have experience, you have things you need to max out to progress forward in life. And it works the exact same way as life. Let's just say whether you want to learn how to do marketing, whether you want to learn how to do sales, no matter what skill it is, everyone's got skills and there's all different levels to this game. That's the thing that most people don't understand. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be telling you this if my life wasn't a clear outcome of me trying to max out my skill points in certain different levels. Because at the moment, I'm a 21-year-old here in Australia. I make over 6 figures a year running my marketing agency here in Australia. But the thing is, it always wasn't that case. Because back when I was 18, I was working 21 hours a day, 7 days a week, earning 10 to 15K a month. And then I decided to give it all up because I'm just like, this isn't for me. Then after that, I took the biggest risk of my life, which failed, which got me basically, me and my ex-girlfriend, literally living off of $25 a day. And also, mind you, I lost over 100 grand at the age of 19. It's pretty scary, if I'm being completely honest. Then after that, I basically moved back in, started running my own digital marketing agency, and then just basically my life just started to go on an upward spiral from there. But that's why I'm saying life is like a video game. You've got to start to see it that way. Everything you do in life, everything you say, everything you think, everything you believe, all it is basically coming down to belief systems and the way you perceive your life. Because as I said, everything, no matter what skill you want to learn, whether it's marketing, whether it's e-com, whether it's even like an AI agency, all it is just basically maxing out that skill point, getting a greater understanding, and then you hit the next level. Then you're like, okay, legendary this at the basic level. Then I can then proceed forward. It's like, even you could say at the end of the day, like all cash flow is just people paying you based on your value that you provide. That's all it is at the end of the day. Obviously, if you guys want to learn how to run your own digital marketing agency, and I can help you to scale 10K a month, click the link below in the description, and we can book you can claim your free call, we can have a bit of a chat, we can see if we actually align. I've only got 5 slots available for the month, but yeah, just do that. The reason why I'm telling you this is because everything in life isn't real. Everything is real, but it's not real. Everything is all egos, but it's not egos. Because the difference between me and you is because I wanted to become a certain class. I originally wanted to become a finance bro for my class. And I'm like, well, I like the lifestyle, I like what's going on, but I've got way too much of this creative side. And you guys probably got the same. It's like, whether you're starting out social work, whether you're starting out in a different element, let's just say, even retail to start off with, or even sales. You guys want to choose a select path because you think, hey, that's going to align with me best, because you never know what's going to happen down the road. Because the thing is, quite frankly, I never expected when I was 18, 19 to get down social work, to do low ticket sales, to do, any of that sort of stuff. I just expected I'd be either in high ticket sales, become a real estate agent, become a broker, or just start trading for the rest of my life. And it's really that simple. But there was always a part of me that drew me towards marketing just because of the creative element. And I was like, clearly, if you guys are watching this, you guys have the exact same thing. Because when it comes to the whole creativeness of this art form, it's so drastically different than what any other skill. Yes, to begin with, it's going to be a fair bit difficult, but also you got the autonomy to do what you want, live how you want to live, and essentially do what you want to do. And obviously that's my phone going off, people messaging me like it happens every single day. But yeah, it's like reality. That's how life works, is because you're going to go down a path and then you're not going to expect where the path is going to lead you. It's like me describing like a story, like a tale, like even remember like any of the video games. You basically slowly progress, slowly progress, and you go up that hero's journey where you become the person who you need to become. Then you have a part of your life which basically drastically hits you in your path, and then you go down. Then you have that path that basically you guys need to work out and figure out what you need to do, what you need to become, and essentially who you need to be at the end of the day. Because it's like we're all playing our own versions of the game. Is this all real? Yes. Is this all fake? Yes, necessarily. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is that you really need to start seeing life as a video game. Even like, let's just say you're playing on Fortnite back in the day and you're just grinding out levels, trying to hit level 100, and it's like, I'm just going to gain some more XP, I'm just going to gain some more XP, I'm going to gain some better skills, I'm going to see if I can progress and move forward. It works the exact same way. Because even if you think about it, it's simple. It's like something simple. I'm just going to name like one of the most life-changing events of my life was when I actually had my first fight. It's like I was a complete newbie to begin with, and then I kept on training. I kept on leveling up my skills, kept on leveling up my fitness, kept on leveling up my punching power, ability, and even my foresight. And then when I had my fight nights, because I was scared shitless, if I'm being completely honest, because all I was doing is just training, because I was scared of the outcome that I was going to lose. But also the thing is, I knew if I was going to lose my fight, I'll just restart back to where I was. And then, let's just say, I essentially respawned. I then basically began back and starting the game over again. And it simply works the same thing. And that's how life works for failures as well. Because I've had hundreds of times, like this is probably my 4th or 5th time that I'm starting up a marketing agency. This is the only one that I've actually done successfully. But that's not even including all the other e-com, the trading, the CFDs, all this other side projects that I started beforehand, which got me to the stage that I wanted to. It all helped me gain the skill points. It all helped me gain the ability, the understanding, the psychology, understanding fear, understanding greed, understanding people's wants, needs, and abilities. Everything that you do at the end of the day is all helping you become the person who you need to become. And essentially, you become the character who you need to be in your own life. It's like, yes, if I simply put it at a very, very basic level of analysis, yes, life is a video game. Yes, the stuff we do isn't technically real. Yes, everything you get paid is all through ones and zeros, but it's like, really, like, what are you going to do about it? You can't change the fabric of reality. Yes, some of us may think, because it's like, if I'm being completely honest, part of me thinks of like, oh, okay, what happens, because like I did physics back in school, part of me was thinking like, what happens if I try to break the fabric of reality? What would happen? How would life be addressed if I was to try and break the fabric of reality? But it's like, simply, you can't really do that, because you're in the control and you're in the power of your own life. You dictate, you determine, you strategize, you theorize, you expel the way how you want to perceive your own life. As I said, it's very simple. Life is literally a video game. You start off in a hometown, you're born, you'll start at like level 1, and then through your journeys, through the ages, like you end up becoming who you need to become. Because life gives you difficulty, life gives you challenges, and if you don't make them through, obviously it's game over. If you do make them through, you keep on progressing forward. But the thing is, every time you respawn, you become better, you're well equipped, even if you have to restart back at ground zero. And also, if you think about it, money is a scoreboard. That's all it is. Money is just a scoreboard at the end of the day. And then you can just keep on progressing forward, keep on attacking more, and just keep on moving forward and figuring out your own way. At least you're not starting off in a third world country and trying to figure out what you need to do, what you need to say. How can I progress forward? Because it's like, simply, majority of you guys who are watching this video have a better life than what most people do. Because it's like, hey, at least I'm not involved in any of the wars. At least I'm not involved in any of the conflict. At least I'm not involved in any of this. Because you're in a first world country, because you speak English, because you are where you are, whether your parents basically struggled to get by or whether you're basically brought up on a silver spoon, you have a different life experience. You have a different way how you perceive the world. You have experiences, and you have obviously a greater understanding, a greater interest, and a greater depth into certain elements of life, whereas most people will not. Let's just say your parents were both software engineers, or let's just say your parents were teachers. You have a better understanding of the education system. You have a better understanding of how to code, how to engineer. You have a much better understanding of what you need to do and how you need to end up progressing forward. It is really that simple. And then with that interpretation of that world, then you can start to basically exfoliate out. So you can start to move forward. You can start to regress. Okay, sweet. Maybe I want to start this. Let's give this a shot. Let me start maybe copywriting. Because I have this knowledge, I have this experience, maybe I need to start out with, working with people who are tutors, because I've got an experience with people who work in education. Oh, maybe my parents were lawyers. Maybe I can see if law works for me. And if not, if the clientele doesn't align with me, then I can just move forward. Everything at the end of the day is learning experiences. And also, once you start getting a greater depth and start getting a greater understanding and comprehension of what's going on along in this world, you're then going to be able to progress forward. As I said, everything at the end of the day is XP. Everything at the end of the day is you gaining more skills, you progressing forward, you moving more forward along your journey. That's what it is. Every journey, every struggle, every hardship. It's like, even for me, I can tell you this. One of the best things that happened to me was that I lost over $100,000 at the age of 19. Lived off of $25 a day with lived off $25 a week with my ex-girlfriend, and we struggled to get by. That was one of the best things that I've had. And obviously now I'm at a place where I can spoil my girlfriend, I can spoil my family. I don't really need to think about stuff before I pay for it because I was willing to go through that hardship to begin with, and I was willing to progress forward because I'm like, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. And the worst thing you can do is just stay stagnant, stop learning, stop improving, stop learning how to grow. And simply, the way you stop by doing that is just by giving up and calling it quits at the end of the day. But simply, who wants to do that? Because I know you're watching this video because you're clearly ambitious. You clearly want to get somewhere with your life. So like think about and rephrase every single hardship within your life. Rephrase and think every single hardship within your life is for you to get forward. It's because all it was just God, the universe, whatever, was just teaching you what you need to do to move forward. How can I progress forward? How can I move forward better? How can I perceive the world better so then I'm actually able to progress and become the person who I want to be? Because it's like really, the only difference between you and the person who you want to be is a skill, is the XP. Because you know what your dream life is. I know what my dream life is. I've been hunting it. I've been going for it for the last 3 or 4 years, ruthlessly and relentlessly. What's the thing that is stopping you? What is stopping you from progressing forward? And it's like simply, what? If a hardship's so hard, simply, that just means you just got to respawn. You've got to simply progress forward back at that skill again. If a client tells you no, if a client says simply, I want nothing to do with you, that's fine. You can learn from it. You can be like, hey, what did I do that didn't make you feel like you trust us? What did I do that made me feel like I stuffed up here? What did I do to lose your trust? It's simply just learning, and by learning and progressing forward with those skills, you're then simply able to move forward and be like, okay, sweet, well, I learned something. Well, I'm actually able to move forward. Well, instead of me just staying stuck here and me thinking, hey, life's over, deal with it, whatever, like I quit. This life is just simply too hard. You can progress and move forward. Like life is a really, really simple game at the end of the day if you think about it. Life is really simple. As I said, all you got to do is just basically gain more skills, gain more knowledge, gain more power. That's all it is. And obviously gain more connections. It is those 4 simple things. And then obviously everything you got on the side is family, friends, relationships. That's all you need. Life is a really, really simple game if you think about it at the end of the day. It's just what you're willing to move forward, what struggles, what dictates, and how you're actually able to progress forward. But yeah, as I said, like the reason why you're probably stuck today is because you need to reframe and you need to see that challenge as like, hey, it's a gift. Honestly, why would I be going through this challenge if it wasn't a gift? Whether it's your addictions to smoking, corn, whatever, you basically got to beat that, and then you continue to progress forward. And then let's just say you might have to restart again. You might have to respawn. Okay, sweet. Well, I failed today. Well, I've got to simply move forward. There's just different ways to analyze this and understand what's the skills, what the challenges, what the progress, how are you simply moving forward. If that makes sense. I hope this video isn't too complex, and I hope this video isn't going like between too many different mental models, but I hope this actually helps someone, and I hope this shows you guys that life is really, really just a game. It is just a game on like the most simple, but the most complex level. Because once you start looking at things on the surface, it's very simple, but obviously once you get a greater understanding and a greater depth of what's going on conceptually within your life, it starts to get more and more complicated because obviously we've got nuances, we've got people, the way people think, belief systems, the way people believe, and all this other complicated shit. But simply, as I said, just look at it. Look at it on a very, very basic horizon. I want to get from point A to point B. I will get challenges along to a part of the hero's journey because simply you want to get to a place where not many people want to go. Then you basically move up, then you move down, and then you move up again. Life is a very, very simple path when you really think about it. And honestly, the more challenges you face, the more character building you have to develop, the more it makes you become the person who you want to become. As I said, whether you want to start creating your own business, whether you want to prioritize having your own family, no matter what area you want to prioritize, the struggles are always going to be there. Or even if you want to be like me and do everything, there are going to be more struggles, there's going to be more hardship, but that's simply because you're being gifted for the path that you're being taken on. Simply that's because you've been, able to move forward, able to progress, able to simply move forward. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting these struggles. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting these hardships. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting these issues and difficulties. It's like as well, I can say from my own personal life when it comes to relationships, I've been through 6 or 7 different relationships before I got to my current girlfriend. It has been a struggle. It has literally been so difficult, but it's like getting to the place of the journey where you want to get to, and then you realize once you get to that destination, there are so many more struggles, there is so much more conflict. life just honestly just becomes a game that is well, like worth it. And it becomes so much more rewarding the more and more you understand it. But yeah, other than that, that's it for me. I hope this actually helps someone. If I was you guys, I'd click the link below in the description, claim your free call. I've only got 5 slots left rest of the month. And if that's it, if we align, that's cool. If not, then I'll give you a free strategy plan. But yeah, other than that, that's it from me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. But if I was you guys, I'd watch this video on your screen over here, how to reprogram your brain to become as rich as soon as possible. Give that video a watch on your screen. Other than that, that's me out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.